Hey guys, we always love to hear from you at the Problematic Podcast. So if you've got a funny story or a problematic person in your life, feel free to email us at theproblematicpod@gmail.com, or now you can text us at 412-204-6943. We love to hear from you. Don't forget to like and follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and like and subscribe on YouTube. Let's get into today's show. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Problematic Podcast. We got a lot, so very much to talk about today. So we're just going to go and jump right into it. Whitney, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm fantastic, my love. I am so excited. We've got a page full of notes here.
Woo.
We can start with the light and fun stuff. What have you been listening to?
Mm-mm.
No, you haven't been listening to anything?
I haven't been listening to a damn thing. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. I have failed. I
told
you, I listened to us and I listened to the podcast that I've previously mentioned in previous episodes. I am not here to lie to the people.
Okay.
But I'm certain you have a lovely list. I am certain.
I don't know if it's a list. We'll start with... So the Janet Jackson documentary aired last week. It was 2-night special. If you have not watched the Janet Jackson documentary extravaganza on Lifetime, I highly recommend that you scroll through your DVRs and your on-demands and you make sure you go find that. It was incredible. We're talking 4 hours, well, less than 4 hours with commercials of Janet being awesome and a queen. So, of course, after experiencing the wonderful documentary, I have been playing and replaying and replaying and replaying my Janet Jackson playlist.
Of course.
I've sprinkled in some Michael in there. And over the weekend, I actually went to a local vinyl shop. And yeah, I was able to find a vinyl copy of the Janet Jackson Control album. And
what?
I know, right? $12. And I couldn't believe it either. And they just got it in, like it came in that day, that morning. Like somebody came in and
they
sold it.
Regretting that. Probably regretting that decision.
Goofy. I don't know. But you know what? I look at it like, I don't know. Maybe they had 2 copies. Maybe they just felt like blessing the world. I do not know. You know, people put rare coins into circulation just to like keep people guessing and going.
Yeah.
I considered it like that. But it was, I got that. And you are not going to believe this. A better story, because this is the lightest stuff we're going to have on this podcast.
Oh,
today.
this is the frosting on the shit cake, guys.
Right. So on top of that, in this particular vinyl shop that I went to, and it's called Vinyl Revival. It's in Lansdowne, PA, for anybody who is in the tri-state area and is very interested in crate digging. So I go to Vinyl Revival. In the back, they have free music. They have free vinyls. Now, on the front of the vinyl, it'll tell you why it's free. It could be old. It could just be a single that nobody's really interested in. My fiance finds a copy of Michael Jackson's Thriller in the free bin. And I'm like, that's got to be a mistake. So we're looking at it, and it says, to be a mistake. It wasn't. It says it skips. So we were like, oh, okay. This is free. And the lady was like, yeah, it's free. It skips. People can use it for art project if they want to. So we bring it home. It does in fact skip, but I'd say it skips on maybe 2 of all of the songs on the Michael Jackson Thriller album. We played the album when we got home. It is phenomenal. And now I have a copy of Thriller on vinyl.
Like a vintage copy.
A vintage copy, not a re-release, a vintage copy. So you can tell the reason why it skips is because you can tell the actual disc is a little uneven. So, you know, it rotates uneven on like a wobble, but I've already found a solution for that. So I'm going to work on that this weekend, but literally it skips on the intro of 2 songs. It's not even any, I mean, if you have a record player, they skip sometime anyway. Your cat walks by and it skips. So
right.
Not a huge deal, but yeah, I've been listening to a lot of Janet. Got to listen to Thriller over the weekend on vinyl, and
Litty.
Yeah, going back and listening to Rihanna's old albums because
We're never going to
cousin
see her again.
cousin Robin is never going to give us
Never.
music again. She has dedicated herself
No.
to ensuring she's gonna give us everything we want, but the music. And I've come to terms with it. I've lamented over it. I have rolled it into a ball and I have let it go. It's all right. Mother Rihanna, Robin Fenty, it's okay. God keep you safe and
Mm-hmm.
keep you happy and well
Mm-hmm.
fed during your pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations. But yeah, listening to old Rihanna because we're not gonna get no new Rihanna. And
No,
yeah.
not unless she wants us to.
Yeah, no, and I
And she
think
has to really want it.
yeah, and I think she's more interested in giving us good shades of makeup and
Mm-hmm.
good
Pretty things to
draws.
wear.
Right. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with that. I've taken it for what it is and just have to listen to the throwbacks and the classic Rihanna's.
Stay healthy, ma'am. Stay off your
Yes.
feet.
Stay off your feet. You don't need to be out here giving us the good fashion looks while you're
Mm-mm.
pregnant.
We
I
didn't
mean,
deserve it.
we
We
did
honestly didn't deserve it.
we never do, but you know she's gonna give us some fashion
Mm-mm.
looks. I just can't wait for Fenty toddlers and Fenty baby wear to come
Listen,
out.
she coming to take all my money. I looked at
Just
her. I said, "Now, woman, you
okay,
got me on the makeup. This
okay.
lip, I can't find a lip gloss that looks this good. Like, I just can't anywhere." And I'm like, "You got me on the makeup. You didn't quite get me on the Puma because she had a
Nah,
Puma collaboration.
yeah,
Not
that's all
quite.
right. That's okay.
The pretty things to wear in the boudoir. Okay, I see you coming for me. I see you coming for me. This toddler stuff, especially
Is
track suits
okay,
and sneakers.
okay.
Oh, just take
I was
just take the whole account.
all
Jesus
right,
help us.
right. Baby Fenty is going to be legendary. Baby Fenty, no, seriously. Can you just imagine what that line is going to produce?
Oh my
I mean,
god.
Baby Fenty is going to be legendary, and I am here for all of it. Just God bless and keep her and ASAP and little baby ASAP safe. Little baby ASAP or little baby Robin. Uh
Hey Rob.
um
I
yeah.
could do without the Rocky of it all. But listen, she loves him. She's
Right.
happy. And that's
Listen,
all I could ask
that's
for.
like a lot of my friends' relationships. At some point you just learn to live with it.
But then here comes the question. I'm like, so how do we feel about,
Oh,
what's going on here in the Robert?
oh no, I love first off.
Okay, wiping
I'm
the sweat off the brow.
I met y'all as a fully functional unit, and y'all been a
You
fully
did.
functional unit since. And
35 years.
all you've done is add another person to the unit who looks
The employer,
exactly
yes.
like her dad with her mom's hair and free spirit and mouthiness. So I'm here for all of it. Yes, yes. I love you and I love your husband. He
Oh, we
is a
love you
wonderful,
too.
hysterical friend of the pod.
Who will be joining us one day.
Yes, he should be. He
He has
should
asked.
be.
He has
Well,
asked.
he needs to be here. Speaking of History Month, I might add. I am I am so
Mm-hmm.
before we start, are we all on the same page that Joe Rogan is the problematic
He can
person
go
of the
straight to
week?
hell. He can
Oh,
go straight
he can
to
go the long
hell.
way, he can go the short way, he
And
can go the scenic route.
you can have a whole Dr. Seuss books on the ways he can go to hell.
So
You
so
can go to hell in a train. You can go to hell in a plane.
right. You can
Go to
take the
hell in a bus.
express
Just
or
get
the
the hell
local.
away from us.
Right. Bars.
Dr.
So
Seuss books. I be
fir-
reading.
first, let me say that on last week's pod, I said, and it just goes to show you people will show their ass and make you eat your words. On last week's pod, I said, Joe Rogan ain't none of my black ass business. I don't listen to Joe Rogan's
We said it.
podcast.
We said
I
it.
didn't think too many people who look like me listen to Joe Rogan's podcast. That has been proven to be untrue because there are a
Completely.
lot of African Americans throwing on the cape for this man. But that's that again.
Wild.
Staying on task.
Do y'all
here.
tap dance for Master too?
Y'all listen, if his last name is Rogan on the Rogan plantation, they sure do shuck and jive quite a bit on the Twitters.
Y'all
But
can have that.
I said Joe Rogan wasn't none of my damn business.
Mm-mm.
My black ass business. I said Joe Rogan
Mm-mm.
is white folks' problem this
Mm-hmm.
week. We got enough going on. We got Black History Month coming up. We can't tackle Joe Rogan. And then I was scrolling my Twitter, watching single black female minding my business, celebrating my Black History Month the way I'm supposed to. And I just happened to come by the Joe Rogan nigga mixtape, as it has been dubbed by the socials.
Jesus.
And it's literally
wept.
Didn't he weep? Didn't he cry his eyes out? Listen
So
here.
did Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth.
My grandma, my two great aunts,
Lord have mercy.
everybody.
The ancestors are just enraged.
It's literally 1 minute and 30 seconds of Joe Rogan just saying, I'm going to say the N word with a hard R, because there's a distinct difference between the A and the ER. Just unadulterated hard R N word over and over and over and over again. It's a compilation.
While the people in the audience with him, while the people surrounding him are laughing.
As if Joe Rogan is fuck. Now let me start off 12? By saying, right, because there's never. Let's be very clear before the dragon. There is never a context for all you coon cousins out there on the internet saying y'all don't understand the concept, y'all don't even listen to Joe Rogan. Under no circumstance is it okay for Joe Rogan to go on his podcast and say the word nigger with a hard R. Never, under any circumstance. Because if there was an instance where he needed to make reference to the word, he could call it the N word like every other white person, like
every other person of color, unless you are of the African diaspora.
Everybody else seems to do it. So again, let's be clear.
In his 50s.
Okay.
Yeah, grown.
I'm not trying to hear he was young.
There is no excuse.
Years ago. No,
All right, so here's what I'm going to say.
Go for it.
And I'm going to keep it short and sweet. If you allow Joe Rogan to say the N-word just willy-nilly on something like 110 episodes Spotify was just removed?
70.
It jumped from 70 to 110.
Oh, okay, we up there.
I just saw an article. We are up to 110 episodes. Do you know that's like more than 2 years worth of content?
Yes.
That's like more than 2 solid years of content you're talking about. Like, so like if he did that every week.
Right.
What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? So if you are of the black persuasion, I'm sorry, I'm trying to be serious. I can't help it. I'm such a goofball.
It's so ridiculous.
If you are a black, it's completely ridiculous. If you are a black and you are allowing Joe Rogan to say the N-word, I don't dare want to ever see you at any march, any rally, hand over the card, hand it on over. Like you are sitting up there with Candace Owens. Enjoy your spot with Clarence Thomas. Enjoy your spot, because y'all keep acting like the people that Harriet would have shot, and it's very, very frustrating.
That is the demographic.
Very frustrating.
The demographic.
Just lick the boots. Why don't you? I'm sorry.
No. You don't need to be sorry. Who needs to be sorry is Joe Rogan. So Whitney just gave me the updated count. I initially saw that 7 episodes of Joe Rogan's podcast, including offensive and racial slurs by Joe Rogan, were taken off of Spotify. Spotify, who inked a $100 million deal with this man. And this is where I'm going to go out on a limb and say, like, racism is still winning a lot of its races out here, because this man was able to ink a deal for $100 million, drop a nigga mixtape, got a compilation of just minutes of him saying this word over and over and over again, and he was still allowed to collect his check.
He's still here.
Get his money, have all of his hands.
Mhm.
And it's crazy because, again, I can admit, for all of the anger I have towards Joe Rogan in this moment, this was brought to my black ass attention because I would have never known about any of this if he didn't piss the COVID people off. If he didn't
That part.
make so
That
many
part.
anti-CDC remarks on this weird ass, racist ass minstrel show of a podcast, none of us would have even heard about it. None of us who don't think that Joe Rogan is entertaining. Apparently, somebody thought he was entertaining enough to give him $100 million and let him say the N word and get away with it. But my black ass does not feel that he is entertaining enough to receive $100 million. And then on top of that, y'all let him slide by saying this word over and over and over again. I am lost. How did Spotify let this go on for so long? I need to know. I'm really confused. Whitney, any ideas? Any? Help me out here. No? You just, okay, that's fine. I've just been side at.
So frustrated.
No.
Because I'm so frustrated because it's like Spotify knew and Spotify is completely complicit.
Right.
And until Joe Rogan is deplatformed, that is the deal. Yep, that is the thing. It's like, what can you do? Because yeah, he's making $100 million. He's got $100 million inked contract, which there should be something in that contract to say that if you cut up, if you act stupid, this is null and void. But they're not even pulling that. They're not even like trying to fix that. Instead, they're quietly, secretly removing these episodes instead of calling Joe to the mat and be like, what is going on here?
Bruh, like, you can't say this. You can't do this. No.
Not on our network. Like, what? Have you lost your mind?
Not with us giving you $100 million. And for everybody out there who is saying there's a reasonable explanation or every context in which he said that.
Excuse me?
It's
First of all, I haven't seen any of that. I would have gone.
I've seen quite a bit of it. And
my God.
I have seen, and again, this is not an attack on my cousins, but I have seen an alarming number of black men using the phrase, you didn't see the context, or I need to see the context. I do not need to see the context.
Does he need to hang you from a tree to get it?
That's what it seems like. There is no ifs, ands, or buts, because again, name one circumstance in which he couldn't have substituted the word nigger with a hard R for just the N word.
Here's how it would have been fixed. If he had used, I don't mean to move us into our next story.
Oh, no. Let's go there. Let's keep it moving along. If he had used a slur that pinpoints the Jewish demographic, would this have
he would have been gone?
He would have been gone a long time ago.
He would have been gone that day.
There's no way you're just deleting 120 episodes. You're deleting Joe Rogan. You're canceling Joe Rogan.
I'm like, who? What? Who was on this network? Never. Not us. No. Right. We don't stand by anti-Semitism
at all.
Y'all willy-nilly stand by racism? Right. That's okay.
Because under no circumstance and under no context are you allowed to use a slur to refer to Jewish people. But somehow, someway,
because you shouldn't.
You idiots on the internet, black, white, and other, have managed to say that there are contexts under which it was okay and acceptable for Joe Rogan and Spotify to not only record these episodes, pay him for these episodes, but air them for years. This content has been available for years. And the only reason why Spotify is catching any flack about it now is not because the African-American listeners of the Joe Rogan podcast stood up and said something, and shame on y'all for not. It's because he made comments that didn't sit well with the CDC and pro-vax people. Baffling to me.
It's not. This is how it works. Make a bunch of white people mad. Like
Right.
that's what had to happen for the whole George Floyd thing. Because remember, people weren't shouting BLM in the streets until it became like fashionable.
Right.
Remember that?
Right.
Like before that, they were terrorists.
Right.
Before that, when we were marching for that poor teenager
Thugs.
who should
We
be
were
turning 27 as of this weekend, Trayvon Martin, when we were saying our lives matter, they were calling us terrorists for saying that our lives matter.
right. And then
And
looking at us
then
when we said our lives matter, and we're like, not really, does it?
everybody's life matters.
Only under certain circumstances, not their lives. Right. I I'm just beside myself because
I don't understand how that's not an instant canceling. I
I
don't
don't
understand.
understand how I'm waking up to news I'd expect to hear in 1958, in 2002,
Well,
and 2022. I'm sorry. And no less, and during Black History Month. Joe
during Black
Rogan
Ass
is
History
trying to
Month,
ruin Black History Month.
we're not gonna let them ruin Black History
We
Month.
we
We're
are
not
not
gonna
going to
do it.
let Joe Rogan ruin Black History Month, but I will say this: Spotify needs to have him off the platform now. You've already got artists who are
Mm-hmm.
pulling their music off of your
Mm-hmm.
platform. And India Ivory made a very valid point because India
Mm-hmm.
Ivory took exception to what Spotify is doing, and
Rightfully so.
she said Spotify is paying artists,
Okay.
singers,
Yep.
rappers, pop
Yep.
stars, songwriters,
Mm-hmm.
fractions of
Of
a
pennies.
penny,
Mm-hmm.
fractions of a penny to play their music on the Spotify platform. But you give Joe Rogan, who doesn't seem to have a talent in his body other than using racial slurs, maybe that's a talent to some people, $100 million. I don't know what the length of his contract was. I don't care. I don't care if it was $100 million for 10 years of him.
Off the network. He needs to be off the network.
He has to go. And artists are going to continue to pull their music off of Spotify because they don't get enough money to keep it on there and for you to disrespect them like that.
You know what? It's gonna take, and I love India. This is not a dig at India because I love India's music. I don't particularly care about her political stances because
Right.
sometimes it gets a little hotepish. But you know, the people who say Grand Rising and Happy Born Day. Sorry, I just made a segment of our audience mad. Please stay.
Oh
Please
wait,
stay.
there's a story for that in our story time section on just that point.
Oh, I'm not ready.
Oh, get ready. Get
I'm not
ready.
ready. But it's gonna take like Beyonce or Taylor Swift or somebody. It's
Right.
gonna take a massive artist or a collection of massive artists to remove their music. I'm not saying that India is not massive in and of herself, but you know, it's gonna take more than just her on her own.
Right.
And I don't understand why, you know, I do understand why. It frustrates me. That's the word I want to use. It frustrates me that it took COVID for y'all to march with us to say our lives matter. It took COVID for y'all to take notice that people are really, really trash to Black folks regularly, like it's a normal thing out in these streets. It took a literal disease to take your breath away to realize that our breaths matter. And it's just very, very frustrating that we have to rally and make videos on social and make appeals on social just to get our humanity identified. Like, does Joe Rogan not understand that there's bodies attached to that word?
That he understands.
Bodies.
And he's getting paid for it. He understands and he's being paid for it.
Again, he's a man in his 50s who's lived here all his life. I doubt strongly that he does not know that word has weight. I don't know if he understands fully why, but as an American person, you understand that word has weight. Why? Because look at the times when people pull out that word to use it. Right. They use it to harm. They use it to hurt. The same way you would use any other weapon. That word is a weapon. And there's, like I said, there's bodies attached to it. Men, women, children, infants attached to that word, you know? And so I would, from a business standpoint, if I'm looking at Spotify, I hope those ad dollars add up real good. I hope they do because y'all have a hell of a problem on your hands, and y'all were so hyped take this person on your network exclusively for your network to give him these millions of dollars, there better have been something in that contract to say, hey, if you start acting up, if you start getting nuck, if you buck, you get off our
You
network.
get off our platform, because
Mm-mm.
I don't want Spotify to be the platform that stands
Mm-mm.
behind racists. Removing episodes is just not enough. And we're going to pivot a little
Mm-mm.
bit here, but at first I got to say this, because I absolutely hate when people do hateful things and then think they can apologize it away. There are people who made comments
That
10, 15 years ago when they were teenagers, and they are truly apologetic for what they have said and what they have
because they
done.
were children.
There were people who made mistakes. They made bad decisions. They knew better, but they made bad decisions.
Which
10,
we do. We're
15
people.
years. We're people made mistakes, have apologized, have atoned, and have gone on, remarkable apology, not just apology tours, but making sure that their actions match their apologies. Joe Rogan does not get to apologize for this. You do not get to apologize for using racial slurs that target African Americans at your great big old age, at this great big time in history where you fucking know better. Joe Rogan can take his apology, he can fold it up very nicely, and he can shove it in his mom's back pocket, because at this point, fuck Joe Rogan. Fuck the Joe Rogan show.
Yeah.
And fuck anybody trying to defend it.
That part.
And if you feel differently, feel free to write into the problematic podcast at Gmail. The problematic pod, I apologize again. The problematic pod at gmail.com, so I can cuss your ass out again.
I'll assist in that cuss out.
Yeah.
Too. Absolutely.
You can absolutely write in and tell me why you think this man is doing something right, or it's not that bad. And I can absolutely tell you why you, him, your mother, and anybody who took part in raising you is an asshole. I have no problem doing that.
As a Black person, why you're so comfortable licking the boots of people who wouldn't stop to acknowledge your own humanity as you do so? That's all I want to know.
It is sickening. I feel like I need to share some of these tweets with you, because I was just disgusted. I'm reading through these comments and I'm like, is this a Black man's profile picture? It was I'll definitely send them to you. It was disgusting. It was gross. And I'm live tweeting a show from our account last night, and I'm like, I am so sick of seeing this trend, because I'm so sick of people defending it. And it's especially annoying when it's people who look like you.
Oh yeah.
How can you be a fan of this person? Listen, and he's done it so many times, you can't tell me you're sorry. You can't do something
inconsequential. Yeah.
So much that we have a compilation and people are calling it your racist mixtape. Save your apology. Joe Rogan can go to hell immediately.
In a train and on a plane.
However the hell he wants to get there, Joe Rogan can go. We are going to pivot to Aunt Whoopi, who I am going to say.
Oh, Aunt Whoopi. Not the EGOT.
The EGOT, Auntie EGOT, then went and put her damn foot in her whole mouth. And guess what? We're not shooting her no damn bail either. So as many of you probably have heard by now, on the 31st, Whoopi Goldberg was on The View, and they were talking about, the conversation started with the banned book Mouse. Banned book Mouse is a book about the Holocaust and how the Holocaust affected the author and his father's relationship. It is a book that has been banned in America in many schools, but it initially started with a school district in Tennessee banning it because of language. Language and nudity. Now, let me start by
saying... Aren't they mouse? Aren't they mice? They're mice, yes. Right?
Yeah, but here's the thing.
It's a comic book.
I think it falls under the term graphic novel. Full disclosure, I haven't read it. Full disclosure.
I used to own it.
Oh, okay. Well, Whitney owned it.
I used to own it. Yeah.
I personally have not read it.
I'm kicking myself for donating it. I'm kicking myself because I should have kept it.
In the context of banning a book because of nudity and language, it is very clear to me that these administrators are completely out of touch with what is going on in the real world, because I see more nudity and graphic language coming out of these kids' TikTok accounts.
Okay,
Have
some
y'all
more.
listened to how these kids talk on these video game streams, on their Twitches, on their YouTube pages? Like, nudity in language is not, it's in your schools, it's in them phones, on them students. So let's
Girl,
hard
girl,
stop.
get it together,
Right,
girl.
right. Okay, lie to somebody, lie again, lie again. Y'all know good and damn well y'all did not ban this book because of nudity and language. Y'all banned the book because, again, anything that looks like critical race theory being taught in Southern schools creates a problem for administrators, because y'all hate to have to face your truth. That being said,
You are preaching on here today, girl. Like, you are just fired up.
because it's
it.
Black History
it.
Month and I need people to be better. Damn.
You know, they act up every Black History Month. Every single Black History Month, they act like this.
They do, but I need Joe Rogan to be drawn and quartered by his fans. Not literally. Don't go out there being ridiculous.
We're not asking for,
but take his
violence,
ass
guys.
to task for what he's done. And don't worry, because Black people got Whoopi, because we about to get into her right now.
Yeah, she's our business.
So they were having a conversation about the book being banned on The View, of which Whoopi has been a cast member since forever.
Like 20 years, right?
Right. Okay.
Right.
So when talking about banning the book, she said, quote, "If you're going to do this, then let's be truthful about it, because the Holocaust isn't about race." She went on to say, quote, "It's not about race. It's about man's inhumanity to man. That's what it's about," she said. Then, when co-host Anna Navarro said the genocide was about, quote, "white supremacy and going after Jews and Gypsies and Roma," end quote, Goldberg responded with, quote, "two white groups of people," end quote.
Okay.
Whoopi Goldberg.
All right, we need to have a conversation about the difference between race and ethnicity.
Let me tell you something.
And religion.
Let me tell you something. No, we do not. Because we are grown. We are fucking grown. And Whoopi has been very, very, very vocal about not being the best student and having a hard time based on her dyslexia, X, Y, and Z. But I'm not shooting her no. I did. I
did not know that. I learned something today.
But I'm not shooting her any bail, because since you're old enough to know better, and for as much as she has been a very, very vocal advocate for race relations and ensuring that her co-hosts don't go on these rants about race and ethnicity and just respecting people in general. I'm not teaching you about race and ethnicity. Whoopi, you're old enough to fucking know better, and you're old enough to know that some things it's not right for you to say under no context.
You're right. You're absolutely right. No, you are. I just we're just looking at things a little differently.
Okay, go ahead. Let me hear. Let me hear. Help me out here, please. Because I want to cry right now, because y'all ruined my Black History Month.
Don't ruin the Black History. It's not ruined. You found Janet at the crate place. You found Michael at the crate place.
That's true. Okay.
That was the ancestors dropping you gifts.
I feel a little bit better because they knew all hell was about to break loose.
They gave you presents. I want presents too, ancestors. Can I get a present? That's fun. I like presents. I'm a present person. No, I totally get what you're saying. I completely respect exactly like the point that you're coming from. I'm just, people really don't understand. Like I said, what I am in completely agreement with you, in complete agreement with you. People really just don't understand that, how to really like talk about this issue. Because here's the thing. Let's just be real and just be honest. The Jewish community and the Black community both have really tragic, horrible horror stories, horrible moments.
Sure. And they're very recent
And
as
where
it relates to time.
very recent, very recent. And there's a lot of pain. There's a lot of pain in some areas that were addressed and some that weren't. Less so for Black folks than for Jewish folks. I was listening to was it Peter Rosenberg? I'm trying to remember his name. He was on episode Higher Learning. Shout out to Higher Learning. The latest episode. And he was talking about how his father, when he heard what was going on with Whoopi, they were talking, him and his dad, and he was saying, like, you know, when I walk into the store, I'm a white guy. Mm-hmm. He's like, when I walk into the store, I'm a white guy. He's like, it's only when I'm hanging around with certain folks that I feel, you know, how Jewish I am, you know, and I'm not here to speak for Jewish people. Clearly not here to speak for Jewish people. But like, when I heard that, when I heard him say, like, he's like, y'all, because both the co-hosts that were sitting there, they're Black. He's like, when y'all walk in the store, you're Black. Like, there's no denying your Blackness. Like, it is seen, it is felt, and sometimes it is instantly discriminated against because we can see what you are. And so Peter continued, and he was talking about how his dad, he's like, yeah, we might not be allowed. He was talking about in the 50s, like, yeah, we might not be allowed or invited into the clubs, you know, like the country clubs and stuff like that. We might not be able to come to the clubs, but we can damn sure go swim in the public pools.
Right.
And so I think Whoopi was coming from that perspective. It's wrong. Right. It's incorrect. Because first of all, Judaism is a faith. There's people of many, many shades, many, many races that are Jewish.
Right.
And Hitler didn't care.
Right.
He didn't care.
Oh my God. Thank you, and preach this word. Because I think the part that sticks out about her quote to me is how she says it's not about race. Ma'am, it absolutely is about race. And because you might look at Aryans and you may look at people who are Jewish and you just may see white people.
You can't see that it's different.
But they very much saw it, and they very much felt it, and they used it as a means to exterminate people. So how can you how can you say something like that? Like, yes, I understand it's a crime against humanity. You're right there. She's is right. Men being inhumane to other men, but please understand that this is an ethnicity that lost 6 million people. And we fought an entire global war about it. And for you to just whittle it down to very simple talking points on The View is exactly why your ass is suspended this week and next week. And you know what? I'm not mad about that. She did come out and apologize. And I'm going to say this, and I'm stepping on a limb here, and I don't want to be the person who sounds like I'm supporting what Whoopi says, because I'm absolutely not. But I feel like this is one of those incidents, and maybe you can agree, where Whoopi said the things that were supposed to be said in the Black people safe space at home, and Black people would have understood it a little bit better.
Yeah.
But she said it out in the world. And that doesn't mean that what she said wasn't wrong. What she said was right. Let's write that down, pinpoint that, because we all say wrong stuff in our safe spaces. We know that. That's why they're safe spaces.
And you clean that up there.
Right. You clean it up. Thank you, Whitney, because you're helping me. You get what I'm saying. We're right here. It's up to your safe space to be like, now, sis.
Let me grab you.
Let me tell you not to say that shit again. Hi. That's not what we say. And here's why you're wrong. And that's what leads to the barbershop debates and the salon debates and the Thanksgiving Day debates. That is the kind of rhetoric you find in those spaces. She absolutely had no space, no platform, no right, no reason, no basis to say what she said on The View. And now she's sitting at home and she on her apology tour. Here we are.
So here's my thing. I can't speak for this. I can't speak for this community.
Right.
Again, horrible atrocity. Completely horrible. I just wonder, when are we as Black folks and Jewish folks gonna get to re-engage the way we used to? Because there was a time during civil rights where the black folks and the Jewish folks, they were like, listen,
Right.
you in danger and I'm in danger too. How can I
Right.
keep you safe?
Right.
And how can we
Exactly.
stay safe together? Okay.
I do feel like we've lost a lot of that sort of discourse. And I think it let me not say this. I'm not the best historian, but I will say anytime you're approaching issues like this from our pain lasted longer than yours, or our pain was more
It is
recent than
not
yours.
the
It's
oppression
not.
Olympics.
It is. Thank you, Whitney. You are so eloquent with your words. I just sit here and I yell and I scream.
Stop it.
You are eloquent with your words. I yell, I scream, I punch the mic.
So frustrated.
You hear me throwing pins in the background, but
you're doing a good job.
You're
doing a fantastic job,
friend. It's not the oppression Olympics, and I do feel like now that so many people have a platform and so many people have a way to communicate, it really does become the oppression platform, because I don't need to compete with my historical trauma. It's not for competition. It's for healing. It's for addressing. It's for educating. And you see it now going on with critical race theory, because please do not be confused at all. It doesn't just impact African Americans in America.
They're coming for your history too.
You're next.
Listen, and to my Asian friends, hi y'all, I love y'all. I've been very loud and very active and very proud with Stop Asian Hate. Okay.
Right.
This is the time that you need to open up your mouths, because if they're coming for the black folks, your history is next. Y'all are next. Now y'all are higher up on the list, but they're going to tick through. But best believe they coming for yours too.
Right.
You're not safe. Okay. None of us who are not cisgender, heterosexual, white, and male, able-bodied male are safe.
Okay? None of us. And I think when we start thinking collectively like that, and like I said, it's starting to show already, critical race theory was whittled down for weeks and weeks and weeks to this very, very small, compact African American history, or the history of African Americans in America. And now you see with this book, Mouse, you see, you are, again, the Holocaust is very much American history in a lot of ways. We fought a war over this. We call it the Great War. We call it the Great War. And that victory is something that is very much celebrated in American history. But this is very much a thing. The Holocaust is very much a thing that started in Europe with its base from a leader in Germany. Now, there are Jews all over the world. We know that. That's like, that's nothing. But if already you've got Southern American schools who have already targeted critical race theory as a threat, and they're coming out and saying, we don't want this graphic novel here in our schools, then it's not just about African Americans and their history in America.
It's not. Nope.
Critical race theory is not this tiny box. So that doesn't mean, I know that some people have the privilege. And when we say privilege doesn't mean you get prizes or bonuses or anything like that. The privilege of saying, I don't really have to worry about critical race theory. It's not my history they're trying to erase. Not yet.
Not yet. Oh, but they are coming.
So
So in fact, I'm trying to remember, there is a quote, and I believe it was about the Holocaust, about that. It was like, they came for such and such, and I didn't say anything. And the quote continues. I'm kicking myself that I forget it, but there's someone who's listening to it and they're like, I know that quote. Yeah, friend.
Yeah, they came for your neighbors and you said nothing. And then when they came for you, there was no one to
say anything about you.
Right. Just, something that people should
let's work together.
Keep in mind, because like you said, it's not just our history that's going to be the problem.
It's and white women, if you think you're safe.
Oh Lord. I mean, just
I'm just saying.
Be on the right side of history, people, please.
We have the cliff notes of what happens to people on the wrong side.
I really hate that y'all making us talk about this during Black History Month. Y'all, I hate y'all so much. Absolutely so much. I'm going to pivot right here we have a new segment that we are going to try and do more than once. And we're going to call this segment Story Time. So for those who have been following us on social media, we posed a question and we wanted to know the pettiest reason you've ever ghosted someone. Now, before we start, I am going to welcome my wonderful co-host Whitney, if she has a story to share. And if not, we can get right on into these comments. She's shaking her head no. That Girl, is white.
You don't want, first of all, I got in trouble at a live event because I said very loudly, and this is I'm standing by my words too.
Oh, go for it.
You too, you all can. I may be problematic in this. I think it's trash to ghost people.
Oh no, wait, what? You do? Well,
I think it's absolute trash. I think it shows that you're a coward because you're not willing to have like the hard conversations.
Oh yeah, and I definitely remember this take.
I got in trouble for that. And I was like, listen, I am a grown ass woman. If I can't look you in your face and say, hey, you know what? This isn't working out. And then people started listing all these reasons why they don't do it. And I'm like, yeah, because you're a punk. Go up there and tell them what, if they smell funny, if they chew funny, they laugh funny, this is just not going to work out. You don't have to say that like you chew funny or something like that. That's just mean. But like,
I have dated someone who chewed funny. And
Earl dated somebody who laughed funny.
I didn't ghost her for it, but I mentioned it a lot. And eventually she was just like, girl, stop bringing it up. This is how I chew. And I was like, you right. If I ain't going to leave about it, why am I still bringing it up, right? No, it's a true story. True story. She's probably listening like, this bitch did not have to. But yeah, I mean, it's true. She chewed funny. She chewed funny. And I was like, why do you?
That's her business.
Shout out
to you who chews funny.
Why your mouth and teeth work like that? Like they're not on the same team. Why your mouth and your teeth chewing and working like you're not on the same team? That is not okay.
You enjoy the food the way you enjoy the food, friend. But yeah, I've always thought that ghosting is trash.
Well, this is where you and I'm
problematic.
No, that probably makes you very healthy. But the rest of us, girl, we are not healthy. We are very
not okay out there.
We are not okay. No, but I've always claimed to be the problematic one. This is why I'm doing this podcast with you, to help me. This is my weekly round of problematic therapy. Because I absolutely believe that sometimes it is necessary to ghost someone. And apparently y'all do too, because I can't even read them all, which thank y'all for writing in. Thank y'all for sharing. Thank y'all for texting. Greatly appreciate it. I'm going to start with the first one. And this is from Alexis. Alexis allowed me to use her name. So shout out to Alexis. Hope you're listening.
Hi, Alexis.
And I'm going to read it. Okay. So Alexis says, the story is, I was dating a guy that was 32 and he decided braids would be a good look for him. I informed him that it would not. And after what should have been a haircut week, I seen that he wasn't getting one. And I blocked him on everything immediately. Now, let me tell you something. Alexis was not here for the Omarion look, and she let it be known. Sis said, I am not, and I will not put up with your Coolio style in 2020 whatsoever. And when I read this story, I was crying because I know he was dead.
I'm going on mute. I can't.
No, don't go on mute. Let these people hear you laugh. No, get off mute, Whitney. Get off mute.
I can't breathe.
She was dead serious. Alexis said she ghosted a man because this man said he was getting braids, and she told him to be fair. She told him not to. She told him that's a bad idea. Is that ghosting? That sounds more like an ultimatum to me than anything. She said, bad idea. Don't do that, bro.
I mean, maybe he by accident had missed his appointment. Like you just left him. Like what is
she left. She said I blocked him on everything. Everything.
See, and this is why y'all be missing out on y'all blessings, because that man could have just missed a haircut and like, all right, I had to reschedule it. Here you go, making assumptions that he actually was getting the braids.
She was not interested in dating Little Bow Wow, and I understand it. She said, "I can't date you with braids, not at this great big age, not in this great big year. There's too much going on outside."
That took me out. I don't feel well.
Shout out to Alexis. I will just say,
it's petty.
It is. I mean, we asked for the pettiest reason, but I will say this: that's not too problematic. You like what you like. You don't like what you don't like. And to be fair, don't look at me like that. She told him.
Hair. It's hair.
Okay.
It's hair. It's hair. It's hair.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, another one I got. I thought this one
I'm not even ready.
You're not ready?
Not even ready.
No, it's another one.
Continue.
I don't think this one is too ridiculous either. You can let me know what you think. I won't use his name. I didn't ask permission to use his name, but this is a dear friend of mine. He said
Rodney
said, we'll call him Rodney. Rodney said areolas were too small. I have preferences, and I didn't see it going far with that. But what I liked the best about this comment was the amens and the likes it got. Because another young lady, who I'm going to call Sarah, said, "Yeah, I feel you. I didn't like the way this guy's nipples looked through his shirt. He got to go." And you know what? Whitney is over here crying, y'all. She keep muting her mic so y'all can't hear her gasping and dying over here.
Help me, Jesus.
Small areolas. Again, it might be petty. I don't think that's necessarily problematic, though. She can't do nothing to change her areolas. If he can't deal, he can't deal. He didn't see it going far. He just nipped it in the bud. I don't think that is unreasonable.
Wait, the message started out. It wasn't even an intro. It was areolas.
I read it how he wrote it. Areolas. I read it how he wrote it. I'm not making that up. Areolas. I've gotten this same comment 3 times. And the comment is, they pronounce the L in salmon. You know what? Also, very, very petty. But I'm not going to spend the next 30, 40 years of my life listening to that. You have to go.
You could correct them. What the hell is wrong with y'all?
I mean, you could.
That's why y'all missing out on love. Because the man that you pray for, the guy sent you, says salmon.
Nope. Salmon.
This is why. This is why you keep ending up with a broken heart. This is why. And God sent you the one you were supposed to have, and you ain't like him because his areolas were too small.
Whitney is out here preaching today, but also victim blaming. We will not allow it. No, leave these people alone. You are victim blaming. Those people's hearts were broken for other reasons because of heartbrokers. No. Wait.
Y'all deserved it. Y'all deserved it because y'all walking out on people who apparently chew funny and pronounce the wrong letters. When you could correct it, you could help them.
Now, this one I very much related to. Friend of mine.
I'm scared.
We gonna call her Janet. Janet sent in saying they would text good morning. Morning, MOURNIG, instead of good morning. Like good morning, like grieving. The first thing I wake up to in the morning is grieving. And she said she would send it back with the proper spelling in capital letters. And they would still send it back the wrong way every day. Yeah, you got to go because you speaking negativity over my age.
Did you say, hey, the morning that you're sending me is the wrong morning?
I do not know.
Like the morning that you're sending me is good grief, basically?
I don't know, but I will say this. If I spell it correctly multiple times in capital letters and send it back to you and you pass the 3rd grade, at least on the first try, or the
y'all giving people enough grace.
No.
See, look, God is in heaven looking down at the gift that he gave you, walking out looking all disappointed because y'all are disappointed about the things that y'all don't talk about.
I mean, okay, so I got one I think you would agree with. I think you're going to agree with this one. Okay. Again, we're going to change the name. Let's see. What name? What's the name? Give me a name.
Jane. Oh,
Jane.
wait, gender?
Jane. I said, give me a name. Oh, she identifies as female.
Okay, Jane.
Jane. All right. So Jane wrote in. She also agreed
Hi,
that
Jane.
pronouncing the L in salmon is unacceptable. That was her second comment. But Jane said, quote, he got drunk and fell at the restaurant because he tried to outdrink me. I ain't dating no clumsy bitch. Now, you on a date.
All right, I'm
you're
logging off now.
No, you're not
logging off now.
No, you're not logging off.
Because I am the clumsy bitch. Because it's me.
Oh,
it's me. I'm the clumsy bitch. I don't want to play with y'all no more. Like, give me my ball. I'm going home.
Okay. For my winner chicken dinner, we are running low on time, so I'm going to read this one, and I'm just going to say, since you were not wrong here, I'm going to go ahead and name this person Keisha. Keisha wrote in.
Hi, Keisha.
Well, now, I was dating this guy at the time. Real cool dude. Great taste in music and food. It was the night, in quotes. And I was going to stay the night. I packed the bag. I packed my little bag and everything. Night goes good.
Little bag.
I'm in my Vicky Secrets. And this nigga starts stuttering. I mean, stuttering. Every other word. It was giving me hidden issue vibes. I told him I need to make a call. 2 minutes later, I gotta go. I got a family emergency. That's the story. He started stuttering. And now, here's the thing. I got questions. I didn't ask the questions, but I got questions. Because I don't think this is very. I'm
leaving.
This is petty. This is absolutely petty. But was he stuttering the rest of the night? I need to know. Was it the Victoria's Secrets that made dismissed? You can't have sex with nobody who's stuttering. Now? No, we're not being ableist. I don't think. Ableist. No. I don't think it was the stuttering per se that made her ghost. I think it was the circumstance that started the stuttering. Sir, why you wait till I get my clothes off to start stuttering? What's happening here?
Is there something wrong with me?
We got to go with the story as it's written. But if the night's going great and you ain't stuttered the rest of the time, and then as soon as I get my Vickies on, the stuttering starts, I too have concerns.
Mm-mm.
I want to know.
Mm-mm.
I want to know.
Mm-mm. Yeah. No, this feels ableist.
It feels. Does it really feel ableist?
It does. This was ableist. Like maybe he's stuttering because you were just so
radiant. It was
that part. Yeah. You look like the ads.
Not the Savage Fenty sexiness.
You looked like it. He was just like, he was grateful and he was just expressing his gratitude. And he got all verklempt and.
All right, Keisha,
his words escaped him.
You are our third problematic person of the week.
I didn't say that.
That's what Whitney said. She didn't say it. I said it. I said it, Keisha. You are the third problematic person of the week. Y'all can write in and let us know if you thought that was ableist or did you think that was like, wow, why you?
They're gonna think I'm so sensitive. Whitney's always pointing out she's so wild.
You're supposed to be the healthy person. If you just assume,
am I?
Yes,
I'm the wrong one. You guys gotta get somebody healthier.
No, it's you. We would love to keep hearing from you guys. So if you have funny stories, if you have a problematic person in your life, if some weird stuff happened to you and you just need to share just to make sure you are not crazy.
Like the areolas.
That was kind of wild. Please write to us. You can email us at theproblematicpod@gmail.com, or now you can text us at 412-204-6943. Again, text us at theproblematicpod at 412-204-6943. And we hope that you guys have a great week.
Bye, y'all.
See ya. Have a great one, everybody.